Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Gaming. On today's episode, we try out the bull fries with the Ascent. The Ascent is a isometric action RPG Cyberpunk themed game published by developed by Neon Giant and published by Curve Digital. Came out on Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One on July 29th, 2021. And we're going to talk about this game and what we think about it. So I'm going to go around the room here first, and then we'll come back to me and my thoughts. But Shane, let's go to you, buddy. You look like you're prepared. What do you think of the Ascent?
Well, for every two things you can love, two things go wrong. Plain simple. The game is beautiful. The game is fun. The game is broken. That's as clearly as you can get. I hate to distract with what I love about what bothers me the most, the fact that the game is broken. Countless crashes to the desktop, countless freezes, not really any lag issues. It all seems just to be, locking up and shit and freezing and, you load in and your guns have changed or your outfit has changed or, you're a woman. Well, we were all a woman, but your things get changed. My skin color changed. It was just weird crap like that. But to go on to some positive stuff, the game is fun when it works. It's a great cooperative one. You and your three buddies. It's beautiful to look at. The sound is fantastic. The way the guns and everything sound. The atmosphere is phenomenal. It's, in my opinion, it's just hampered so bad by the glitchy issues. So, but I could complain more later. Let's go to Russinator. Russ, what do you think?
Not much to really go against what you're saying. It's actually a pretty fun game. My first go at the regular single player mode was a little bit interesting. I'm kind of used to the Diablo on the console, so it was kind of a little bit of a learning curve for me to kind of aim with the right controller versus just kind of moving in Diablo where it all kind of works together. It's actually two separate controllers. You're moving and then you're aiming with the other one. So that was a little different at first, but definitely once I got around with the guys and started playing, it kind of got some rhythm. It was really cool. Along with being broken, it is very clumsy. The menus are extremely clumsy for some reason. I'm not really sure if it's just me, but I do want to say that just navigating the menus, even when you're hitting B, just the way that the navigation, I can't say exactly what it is about the navigation. I could just say it feels very clumsy. I feel like I'm always pulling out, going too far for the gun, for the weapons or for the armor or something like that. Like it ends up going two menus back from where I was originally. And it's like, I feel like I can navigate a map or at least navigate options pretty well. But that was a really big frustration for me. Beyond that, I do enjoy the weapon choice. I do enjoy the gameplay itself. It's like an organized chaos game. It's a lot of fun on that sense. So we'll get more. I'll get more into it here in just a minute. But Patrick, what about you, man? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I want to like it. I really want to like it. It's really fun when we play together. The problem is I'm going to emphasize the words when we can play together because it seems we're fighting bugs half the time when we're trying to play together. What I've gotten to play is pretty fun. It looks cool. The whole twin stick shooter aspect of it's kind of fun, and also being able to aim high and low so you can shoot over those cover because the game has cover mechanics and stuff like that in it. But really, if you think about it, it's a run and gun style game, and it's meant to be that way. It feels that way, and it plays like that way, and the music and everything tends to lean towards that. But the game is very buggy. Like kick you out of the game buggy, lock you into a cutscene bug, just random crap bugs that will just ruin the gameplay. The game, I lost armor in the game. I somehow, like Shane said, swapped guns. My color customizations got messed up. And I'm like, what is going on with this thing? So to me, it feels very much like an unpolished game. It's full of technical issues and it just looks unpolished. Like the way the game loads, I mean, it's not that hardcore of a visual game, but it loads like something that's chugging along at 4K, 120 hertz, but it's not running that high. I mean, it loads in. It reminds me of a 90s or 2000s game where when you would load into a map, you load in the map, then you load in the people, then you load in their clothes, and then you load in their customization. Because this game does that all in real time, and it looks bad, looks like garbage when it does it. They should have stuck with some loading screen, so they probably did that to try to eliminate having a loading screen, which everybody is considering loading screens bad now. And so these people are probably going, how do I not have a loading screen? How about we just throw players in while all the crap's loading so they can complain about that? So a very buggy game, and I wish they would fix it. I mean, they came out with a patch recently, and it didn't seem to do anything but make things a little worse, in my opinion. We spent quite a bit of time on Saturday trying to make it work, and then some on Sunday trying to make it work. So, pretty game, cool combat, lots of different methods and ways to play, different builds, different guns, all kinds of stuff. Nick, what do you think about this one, man? What are your thoughts?
I like this game. I like it a lot. I would agree, though. It is a buggy mess. I would say that the patch that they came out with after we played it on Saturday has helped in some regard. Because Saturday was horrible. I mean, that was pretty much, I think, the day after it came out, because I think it came out on that Friday or something like that. And we played it that Saturday, and I mean, we disconnected and got sent to the home screen and, just all sorts of stuff. I mean, we spent most of the time trying to build a game more than actually playing the game. When they put the patch out, did it help? I think it helped in some regard. It still has a lot of problems, though. And that's what really drags this game down. This game I think it would be top notch. I think it is top notch. Other than the fact that all these bugs kick us out of the game. They take us to the menu or to the dashboard on the Xbox. Graphical glitches, getting stuck in elevators, getting stuck in holograms, getting stuck in menus. I mean, there's just a bunch of technical bugs with this game. If they could just iron those out, this would be an awesome game, because ultimately without those things, when the game is running right and we're playing like we played last night, Sunday on the August the 8th, when we played it, that was, I mean, for the most part, we didn't really run into a ton of bugs. We ran into a few, but there was very minimal, and we had a really good time with it, I think. And I had a lot of fun with it, and I enjoy this game. I love the progression of stats and armor. You have different armor that you can put on for your torso, head, and legs. You have different weapons and tactical abilities, like throwing grenades or throwing out like artillery guns. You have augments, like being able to make a mech come in, or a mech suit that you can ride in come in, or just there's so many different options with it. I mean, this is like the great thing about this game is this is the world Cyberpunk 2077 should have been. I mean, because this is like super Cyberpunk. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077, if you've ever played that game, is kind of minimal Cyberpunk. I mean, you have some of it there, but like a lot of the open world is kind of like just normal, like Grand Theft Auto type looking. This is totally just 100% Cyberpunk. So it's an awesome atmosphere. The gameplay is a lot of fun. The stories, we don't really care about the story. We're there to kill things and level up, right? That's the main thing of it. So story, whatever. But ultimately, besides the bugs, if they can work out the kinks, this game would be top notch. I mean, I think it is top notch in its own right with, bugs aside, I think it's top notch. But the bugs really hinder its staying power. If they can kill those and squish those bugs out and those technical issues, I think this will be a really great game for this year. So that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah, it's
getting
sad.
those bugs.
Yeah, it's sad that we all really looked forward to this game because it was a 4-player co-op. It was something for every one of us in our likes brackets, but uh, it's hard to get through such a broken mess. And it has gotten better, like Nick said. It really has. It's still got some work to be done. When they get that work fixed, this is going to be a great game. It really is, because I enjoy the hell out of it. I mean, when I unlocked the exploding spider, I was a happy boy. I was leashing those boogers everywhere. And that's the thing about the game, is it has some really good stuff to it, really great stuff to it. But it's really hard to hype the game up when you literally, what I say the other day, it's like, yeah, yes, we want to play, and I'm like, sure, I haven't had a game lock up in a while or something like that. And that's what this game is. It's a broken game with amazing quality behind it. So I wish
Right.
that patch they put out wouldn't have focused on. If I remember correctly, it was focused on ray tracing and I believe it was frame rate as well. But and keep in mind, we're playing the Game Pass version on Xbox Series X. So PC version, I don't know anything about. So it may be a much better setup or gameplay.
I had more hope for this game than this because I mean this is Neon Giant's first game, I will say. And it's been in development since about 3 years, from my understanding. They formed the company in 2018. The problem is that there's some heavy hitters in this development studio. People who, worked on popular games like Bulletstorm and Wolfenstein and Doom and Gears of War and Far Cry 3. And this is the garbage you put out. And that really irritated the crap out of me because, I mean, it really is. I mean, we spent one night trying to kill this dang mega arachnid boss so many times and it would bug out. Like we'd fight it, it wouldn't take any damage. We would die, we would come back, and we're like steamrolling. His like health bars just going, and then as soon as we get to the end, it's like kick you out of the game. I don't know how many times we tried that boss, like 8 times, maybe 10. It was a lot. And I'm like, you know what? This is pissing me off. And right before I was like, I'm done, we killed it. And I'm like, we didn't do anything different, guys. It's just the stupid bugs in the game made it glitch out because we would have killed it like 3 or 4 times before then. But it's just so buggy for something put out by some veterans of the industry. They should know better than to put out garbage like that. I mean, in my opinion, it could have used another month of polish. It needs attention and attention in the right place. I mean, there's sound issues. You get in, you're shooting your gun, sound stuck. All you hear is your gun firing in the background. You're like, are you kidding me? Sometimes there's no gun, there's no sound. Sometimes your gun won't come out when you step out in the world and you're being shot at by the enemy. You're like, where's my gun? I can't pull it out. It's not ready. It has too many bugs for me to give an honest to goodness review of it. I mean, I like what we played so far. I like the running around with the group. I like the twin stick shooting aspect of it. I like the faction, or not the faction, but the building of your character, the different guns and stuff. Because I'm working on building a tank build with the guy in the minigun. That's what I want. I just want to stand there in the middle with the minigun, like the Heavy from Team Fortress, just laughing and shooting everybody while they're shooting me. That's what I want. So that's what I'm building. But every time we get going, like something stops us. We got into a rhythm now where if somebody's going to take a taxi, we have to say, hey, about to take a taxi, so nobody's in a menu, because it locks up when you're in a menu if you fast travel somebody. Same thing if you're about to enter something. We're like, hey, I'm going to enter this door. We've got to be like that, or the game locks up on us or kicks a player out. And when it kicks you out, you can't just join back in the game. Everybody has to leave the game and go back to the lobby and restart the game. That seems so bad with a game that has 4-player co-op and that touts co-op. If it touts co-op, you need to be able to jump in and jump out. So if they're running a mission and I want to join them, I should be able to, or I get kicked out, I should just be able to jump right back in without me having to have the whole party come back out. So in my opinion, Neon Giant, you guys screwed up. You need to fix this, and you need to fix it quick. You released the game now. Fix it.
Yep, that sucks. Russ, when you were running through by yourself and then you ran through with us, did you notice a difficulty change on it?
Yeah, I think it scales with however many people you have in it. So it did to scale
remember
that. And then on the second part of it, too, something to add, I'm kind of concerned, like, so in the last 2 years, we've had these games that are releasing first day on Game Pass. And I mean, do we pay a super premium for Game Pass? No, but we do pay a subscription fee for it. And, Xbox does say that they have the gamer in mind when they're doing this. And like, we've had a couple of games now that have kind of come out on Game Pass that are, I mean, are we beta testing them? I don't know. I mean, there seems to be not quite ready when they come out. So is this another one of those things that have kind of happened because of Game Pass and the fact that us as gamers are starved for a 4-player co-op that, we'll deal with this. I mean, it doesn't sound like Patrick's really dealing with it too well. I mean, he's right to hold them to their feet to the fire on this one. These are people that are experienced in the industry and they know what it takes to make a quality game. And was it Xbox that's pushing the release? Was it the fact that they were trying to make a date? Is it COVID related? What is it? I mean, everything's blamed on COVID every now again anyway. So why not blame COVID too on this one? But I just hope that this isn't a series of games that we're going to get on Game Pass first day free ones, not the ones that obviously kind of enter on. I don't think we've had an issue with anything that's come on later after release. It's all been something that's first day available on Xbox that we've had these problems on.
Yeah,
well, I would say that's to get off of all the technical, glitchy, broken crap. When the game runs right, it runs really good, and I have fun. If I was going to complain about an aspect of the game itself, I think my biggest complaint would be when you're going from zone A to zone B, and it's got you running through areas. You're running level 9, and it's going to have you cut through an area where you got 16s. We ran into that a few times, and that sucked ass because, we're running, gunning everything in our path, and then you come across a 16, you pissed off, and well, there you go.
Yep, that's just the pathing doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
The map is like almost impossible to read, and the fast travel is like garbage. A lot. I mean, because we're learning now that when you're trying to fast travel, you're like, okay, this one says there's a quest in the fast travel area. It shows up the little quest icon when you go to pull up the taxi, and you're like, okay, cool. So let me go run fast travel real quick, and it'll fast travel me, and I'm like really close. But sometimes it doesn't tell you could fast travel to anywhere because the boss or the quest is not in your zone. You got to go up to the Warrens or the high place or whatever. But it doesn't really necessarily tell you that. It should tell you that it'll take you a taxi over to the nearest elevator. But it doesn't do that. So you have to guess. You're like, I think this is where this taxi location that is near that elevator. And sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. And then the metro is kind of pointless and useless. We've yet to find a really good use for it because half the time we're like, hey, there's a train. Will it take us where we need to go? I have no clue. If we take it, we may end up in BFE or we may end up near a quest. So I think transportation in this game needs an overhaul along with the pathing, because there's plenty of times where one of us gets lost because they're running off another direction and saying, well, my up arrow is directing me to go this way. And the other guys are like all the way over there. And now I'm dead because, I ran into the wrong way, or I ran away from the area where my group is going. If we're in a 4-person map and one of us wanders off, you're running into mobs that are designed to be aggregate of 4 players. So it's got a lot of things going on with it. I mean, if they fix those bugs, it's a great game. I love this game. I like the character building. I like the RPG elements of it, the armor, the weapons, the different modules, the different tactical items, the augments. It's got so much going for it and so many different things. And the bosses are kind of fun and unique and interesting. So, it needs to fix those. That needs to be their number one priority right now, because that's the only reason that drives me not to play it right now is the bugs. So I'm like, do I want to sit here and do I want to play for 4 hours and spend an hour and a half to 2 hours just working through the bugs?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the biggest concern for the game is fix all the bugs. There's too many bugs in this game that cause too many issues. And like you said, Patrick, if they got rid of all these bugs, I mean, I love the game too. I think it's a great game. It just needs to get rid of these bugs. These bugs are like in your face all the time. And there's so many times where, exactly what you said. I mean, even when we take a taxi ride, I don't know if you guys, and it's not really a big concern, but when we take a taxi ride, half the time I see double characters. I see your character twice in the seat, my character twice in the seat, and Shane's character twice in the seat, and Russ's character twice in the seat. And they're all moving in different directions. So it's like double vision for everybody in the taxi. So Yeah, I mean, and that's not a big concern because it doesn't really cause any issues. It's just a weird graphical glitch. But I mean, there's just a lot of bugs in this game, and this game is riddled with bugs and technical issues that need to be squashed. And once they are, I mean, like we said already, this game is great when there's no bugs. So once the bugs are squished, this game will be fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I really like this game. I do. It's just the bugs need to be worked out, and that's like exactly what Patrick said. That it needs to be first priority for them. Get rid of these bugs.
Yeah, and I like what Russ did bring out about are we beta testing? That's the problem with every game developer now, and has been for the last 2 generations plus. Now that we have access to the internet, they're getting lazy and they're putting out crap and going, okay, well, we'll fix it over the next few months. That's stupid and it's wrong, and you're boning your gamers, and that shits need to stop, because all of that we've complained about has had to have been known about before they release. There's no excuse for it. And it's heartbreaking because we all really want to love this game and we're all on the cusp of it. But what's keeping us from going over the edge is all the crap that should have never been released with it.
Well, yeah, they can't say that they wouldn't have detected it or they didn't find it when they were baiting it, because I'm sorry, out of 4 of us and all of us are experiencing the issues, that's a 100% throughput on issues. So if like one of us would have it, I'm like, okay, maybe they just have a large enough sample size. I mean, they are a very small studio. I mean, I think they have 11 people or something in the studio. So, I mean, they are small, but still, this is their breakout game. They took them 3 years to develop this game and put it into play, but it's their breakout game and they're falling on their face what Neon Giant is. So, you know, if you want us all to respect you as gamers, you need to put out something that works day one. And, you know, yes, a lot of people are going to piss and moan if you delay your game, but I think a lot more people are going to piss and moan right now and maybe not play it as long because they're like, I'm tired of dealing with the bugs. I mean, we had to convince Shane to come back and play because he was so tired of the bugs on Sunday. He's like, I don't know, I don't want to put up with the bugs. But then, you know, he came and played and we worked through it. We didn't have as many bugs as we had been, but we still had them. I mean, I still got booted out. We had to restart because of me. I think Shane or Nick, one of you guys got stuck in a hologram. We had to stop and come back in. And then, you know, and our menus are always gone. Our bottom right side of the screen gives you your stats and your health and everything. That thing never seems to be there anymore. I'm like having to ask Nick and Shane or Russ, be like, hey, where's my health? Because I can't only see the party's health. I can't see mine now. So too many things. And I just wanted to fix it because I want to play it. I really want to play it a lot more. But it just drives me nuts with the inconsistency and the sound bugs and the visual bugs and the crashing, game breaking. They're game breaking, in my opinion, because they cause us to have to stop. So love the game. Want to play more of it, but I think it's kind of shelved for me almost. Not quite. I mean, I'd probably play if everybody said they wanted to, but I'm not going to go out of my way and suggest this game until all the bugs are taken care of.
Absolutely. It's a Game Pass game, which makes it more tolerable because we didn't, lose 30, 50, 60 bucks. And right now it's just not a buy. It's not until it's fixed. It really isn't. And what makes it really not a buy is the fact that it's good game. It's a really good game that's hampered so bad by things that should never have happened at release. So I wouldn't recommend buying it. I would recommend waiting, keeping it on your watch list. Definitely.
Right. What's this game? Anybody remember what full cost of this game is?
That's a good question. One of you hit the
because
Google.
we all got it on Game Pass, so I'm like, is it a normally $30 game or what? I'm trying to look here. Yeah, it's a $30 game. So I mean, $30. It's definitely a $30 game in my opinion, and I would honestly pay without the bugs. I'd pay $30 for it. I like it, and I would play a lot more of it without the bugs. So yeah, looks like you can get it on Green Man Gaming and Humble Bundle and stuff around $30. So that's honestly what I would pay for it if I could, if I had to pay for it. So I would say buy it, but I would wait for them to come out with some more bug fix patches if you're anything like I am and you just can't stand to just run into bug after bug after bug. Russ, when you played solo, did you run into nearly as many bugs, or do you think it was mostly related to multiplayer?
It
I think you're the one
has
that
to be
most
related.
solo.
It had to be. It had to be related to the it had to be related to the online gameplay. I mean, I traveled a few times, never had an issue. There was some loading stuff, and my UI did disappear one time. So that's one thing that's probably the one that confuses me the most. I mean, the UI disappeared more than once on us playing together. Like you said, like I think the one night I don't think I had it for 70% of the time that we were playing. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to guess and hope. And some of that too, you know what? That's another, golly, this is a good game. It's a fun game, but there are some small things like the stat build. The stat builds are very complicated. You can't, I mean, you learn what it is at a certain point, but once you're starting the game, it's not there. The cooldowns, I had to ask Shane, like, Shane, would you tell me which one's my health bar and which one's my, and usually that stuff comes up pretty easy. And even in the solo gameplay, it's really not explained that well. So again, I think I don't want to call it an issue. I want to call it a missed opportunity because this game is really good. If it was a failure, then there would be problems. But I think there's a lot of missed opportunities in this game more than there is like, yeah, there's bugs, but I want to use that terminology because it is a good game. And yes, I agree with everybody. Would be a $30 game, if not a $40 game, if it was all good to go.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. I would probably pay $40 if this game came out at $40 price point. It is that good of a game.
Absolutely.
And then it just doesn't, you have to like stop and read everything. I mean, which is, whatever. It is what it is on that because it doesn't tell you this item feeds in, you can read the tooltip, but you have to stop. The game doesn't tell you, hey, this feeds into your HP. This feeds into your energy or endurance. This is cybernetic ability or biometrics or a motoretrics or a frame. These are so many things you have to know. Like if I want to run this build, this augment or this tactical item feeds into biometrics, or maybe it feeds into motorics or cybernetics or frame. There's so many different things you have to pay attention to build your build out. So, you have to really pay attention to the attributes and then the add-ons or what they call the component level stuff, because they basically feed off of that. So certain piece of equipment, will work better if you have a higher biometrics or a higher cybernetics. So there's lots of that type of stuff in here. You just have to pay attention. It doesn't lend well to our play style, I would admit, because we have a tendency to just run. That's what we do as a group. Like the person that's sitting at the shop is usually feeling the eyes of the other team staring on them like, we're ready to go, we're ready to go, we're ready to go. And then you're like, hold on, I want to read this crap. I got to figure this out. So it's probably best to figure this stuff out in the single player and then jump into the multiplayer so that you're not holding up your team while you're digging through armor going, is this piece better for me or that one? Because I don't know if I need more weapon damage or if I need more of my attribute damage, such as cybernetics or frame or et cetera. Or do I just want more health? So
yeah, and that is affected by the enemies you're fighting too. Because the enemies you're fighting, you're going to need a little bit of a different weapon set too. We found out with robots or people, you have to run with the energy weapons, and which is a great thing. It keeps the game interesting. So,
yep, cool.
What about you?
And one thing to remember too is if you max out a skill set like health, let's say, in your skills, 20 is the max for every skill set. If you equipped an armor piece that gives a bonus to that bonus does apply. So if you have 20 maxed out health and you get a bonus like of 3 to your health, and you go look at your health will be higher. So, it does, all those things do contribute to one another. And I would agree with both of you, for all you guys. Without the technical bugs, this game would definitely be worth the price. I mean, I think this game is great. Besides the bugs, I love playing it. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. If it wasn't for the bugs, once they squish them out, I would say if you're interested in this game, if you have Game Pass, go ahead and play it. Whatever. You're not losing out on anything. You just remember you're going to have bugs. But if you're thinking about purchasing this game, you don't have Game Pass, I would wait a couple months until they get these patches out and things like that and squish some of the bugs out of there, and then go buy it. Even if it's still $40 or $30 or $40 or whatever, go buy it because it's still a great game.
Yep. Support these guys, but make them fix their crap first. Cool. Well, I think this has turned into quite the complain fest, but we all tell you we love the game. We just want them to fix it. So we all love it. We want you to fix it because it'll probably stay installed, as this will be our new go-to multiplayer game for right now. So when we're all online, we'll be playing this until something else comes out. There's 4-player, so anybody else got anything they want to add to this party before we shut it down?
No. Fix it, make it right, and you guys are going to have a hit on your hands, plain and simple.
All right. Nick, Russ, anything from you guys?
No, just echo the same thing. I mean, it's not a matter that we dislike the game. It's more of like we want more of it by fixing it.
All right. And Nick, any final parting words? All right.
No, not for me.
All right. Well, I think we've all had our fill of bull fries, and the line to the bathroom's getting pretty long because I don't think they're going to keep them down. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode and listened to us rant and raving about the Ascent and wishing they'll fix it. So we hope you like this one, and we hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.